Okay, I have to start off this video with this because this was just absolutely amazing. I had found out that Minority Report actually had a term called bleach bypass as the overall look of the film. It's what you do to the film to kind of wipe out the negative. And I was like, well, let me see if I can't make my review look like that in some manner or form. And I go on to my clips and see if I can't do a filter, and there is actually a bleach bypass. So you're going to see this entire film, or this review, excuse me, as this. So yeah, let's get into this. Man, that excited me. Welcome everyone to Cinema Spotlight. Diving into Steven Spielberg's career, I will be talking about Minority Report. Stick to the end of this video to hear me out. When you're done, please consider letting me know down in the comments if you loved, liked, or hated this film. Either way, I'd love to know. With that said, I'm gonna dive right on in. Minority Report is about a specialized police department that apprehends criminals before they commit murder through the psychics called Precogs. Criminals that have broken no law but were seen committing murder by these said psychics. So, when John Anderton is seen killing someone he does not know, he is on the run from the force whilst trying to figure out who set him up. This movie that has been on my mind for probably the better part of a decade is... oh my god, it has so many different genres in it, and it is very effective in execution 100%. This movie is futuristic while seemingly practical in other aspects that really bring out the realism to technology, actions, and motivations and philosophies that really change the ideologies and morality. This movie really, truly succeeds in that avenue. With a little bit of an addendum to that. And you were wondering like, okay, wait, you just said 100%. What are you talking about? And basically what I'm trying to say is while this is futuristic and very high energy and very amazing in concepts in its execution, the action beats and the situational dramatic flares is where I have my issues. This is where the movie sort of suffers in a different avenue, a different branch than the concept and execution. 1 minute, seriously compelling and engrossing, only for it to lead into comical situations that I think can be just a wee bit jarring. Like, there's a scene where John is only beginning his run against the law, and he's in his car. And the car is automatically recalled back to the precinct, so John punches out the window and starts car hopping. Now, that's not the silly part. That's actually really, really fun and compelling, and you're like, okay, where are you going now? This is... whew, you're changing the narrative. The silly part is where he jumps, falls, and crashes into a complex with a bunch of contortionists. But he falls ironically in a way that resembles the same positions that these other people are making. And while that's hilarious, it really takes you out of the compelling moment. And I just think that the compelling moment needed to last a little bit longer before we hit the silly stuff. And then there are plenty more of these moments that really make you question the sci-fi aspects of this film and regard it as fantasy just as much, which is what conflicts the tone a bit for me. It largely consists with a hiccup here and there of silly moments and action beats. I remember when I first heard about this film, it was a trailer before a film I can't quite remember on VHS, and I really wish I remember what the movie was. But I remember having this discussion with my stepbrother where the whole idea of pre-crime was stupid. His argument was, might as well just arrest everyone. And while at the time I didn't quite get his argument, the film makes it clear on what makes you suspect. It's not thoughts and feelings, it's the actual will and impulse of committing the crime. But it's not without showing the other side as well, where there's a minority report, aka the possible alternate future. So this makes for a very personal and compelling story. I loved this movie growing up, and while I was anxious to return to see it, how I felt about it these many years later, what I ended up getting was actually a bit of conflicting feelings after I had watched it. I loved the concept of pre-crime and the beginning scene where John is tracking down the most pre-murder. That was just amazing. I love the concepts introduced that help keep this a functional world lived in, and that dystopian, rundown, bleaching looking feeling as you can see here. It was just amazing. And I love the characters as well, especially Colin Farrell's character tracking down John. Easily the most entertaining aspect of the film was him and Tom Cruise. But what I ended up just liking, but couldn't quite love, were the action beats because they were just downright compelling, then immediately silly. The physicality of certain functional sci-fi elements were questionable too, but I often have to remind myself that this is just a film that I shouldn't take too seriously. Yet, the film is sort of asking you to take it seriously. What I ended up rather disliking is the ending, as I felt that it was anticlimactic and very quickly wrapped up, when I'm pretty sure there were plenty more things to explore. If I had to rate this film on my love to like it to hate it, or should I say rather dislike, I couldn't tell you that I wholeheartedly loved it, but I didn't just like it either. So here's what I'll say. For that, I loved this movie for the most part, and own it on DVD. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have seen Minority Report, let me know down in the comments. Be kind, be reasonable, and let's talk. Like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell so you don't miss another video. With all that said, I hope you all have a fantastic and wonderful day. Until next time.